evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, thank you. That's great. I want to try it again, see if we can get it even bigger. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for having us here. My name is Matthew Keating, and we're from the Claremont Community School of Music. And tonight we're featuring some of our cello students from the music school. And I'm going to have them stand up in just a moment to be recognized. But before I do that, I'll give each of their names. We have Caleb Van Brunt on cello over here. You can raise your hand. And then Jaden Mosley, Leonardo Gonzalez, Aston Fu, and then our professional piano accompanist over here is Dr. Jenny Jung on the piano. Can you guys stand up? Let's be recognized here. Go ahead. So we have, we were putting together the program thinking about what we'd play for everybody this evening. And what we're going to present to you is some light classical music, some folk music, some traditional songs from the Great American Songbook that go back as well. And mostly what we wanted to focus on that I thought would be interesting is songs from our early childhood. These students here, I think all of you guys, all the students have been playing since they were quite young. And so we're going to feature some of the very first pieces that they ever played, all the way up to music that they've been playing that's quite advanced, that's at a very high level. So a mixture of solo, ensemble, and we'll have all kinds of harmonies and melodies for you. So we're going to start off with some of the folk music that we learned from our early days, including myself, okay? We have French folk song, Lightly Rose, Song of the Wind, and some of these other ones I'll leave a mystery because I'm sure you'll recognize them. Thank you. So again, that was a French folk song directly from France. Lightly Row is another early folk song. The next several we're going to feature. The first one is entitled Song of the Wind, Song of the Spring. And the two next in the same set, I'm going to leave a mystery for you and see if I can, if you recognize them. So we've got three songs we're going to do here. The first one is Song of the Wind, or Song of the Spring. And then the next two, we'll see if you recognize right after. Hope you enjoy. If I speak without the microphone, is that fine? Makes me feel more comfortable. Thank you. Does anyone have any idea what those last two pieces were? Yeah.
The first one was Go Tell Aunt Rhodey.
Yes, it was. A round of applause. Yes. Go Tell Aunt Rhodey. What about the second one, the latter one there? Any ideas?
Oh, come little children.
Yes, that's it. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So what I wanted to do now, and I'm going to be surprising some of the kids with this. We talked about it earlier tonight. We had rehearsals before we came over. Something that can make these two pieces so interesting is we have this wonderful piano accompaniment that we have that really gives the traditional folk song life. But by adjusting the rhythm slightly, we can take the same song and make it completely different. You guys know what we're going to do? So we're going to play Go Tell Aunt Rhodey again. But this one's going to be a little bit different. So we affectionately call this one Aunt Rhodey Takes a Road Trip. And this is just going to be no piano on this one. And what you guys can do at the very end, I'll show you. going to feature Caleb Van Brunt on cello and Jaden Mosley on cello. Okay? You guys on? They're relieved over here. I surprised these guys. Are you guys ready? So again, I hope you enjoy Aunt Rhody Takes a Road Trip. Thank you. Did you recognize the melody still? Yeah. So, for those of you academics out there, what we did musically is we took the melody and we changed it into a pentatonic scale and added some different rhythms, and that gives us a road trip. So, thanks again. This next piece is a song, Spring May song, and I'm sure you recognize it as well. And we're going to put it in a set with another piece entitled Allegro, and that one we're going to also play a different version for you as well. So hope you enjoy. This is May Song and Allegro. Ready? Here we go. So earlier tonight, when we were talking about what we were going to perform for everyone, I didn't make a promise, but all the students were like, no, we want to play all this and this, but we don't want to go back and play the first song that we ever did. But I thought I'd weave it in here. We're going to play the May song again for you, but going along with our theme of rhythm and how we can alter it slightly. One of the first songs that these students ever played was a song by Mozart, and it's the theme that we all know, affectionately knows, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So what we're going to do for you is play our May song one more time, but we're going to sneak in Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and see if you can notice it, and see how it fits in with our chord and rhythm. Okay? So be paying close attention. See if you can find Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star while we play the May song. Can we do it again, boys? Okay? May song? I'm just going to play May song. Ready? Okay, here we go. Our next piece is entitled Rigadoon, and it's in an old style of song with homage to the Baroque period. And what's unique about Rigadoon, for me, is it was the very first piece that I ever performed a long time ago, very long now, in public. And I played it just across the street at the Church of the Brethren. So do we have anybody that are familiar with the Church of Brethren here? Yes. So I figured we might. But I played it with a cellist that you may recognize. He was a really famous pedagogue by the name of Rick Mooney. And I played that song with Rick, and also, and this is something for Jaden especially, my accompanist was Miss Samuel. See Jaden's surprise. So something that's so wonderful about this community and why we're so lucky to be able to perform for you is that we've got orchestras and choirs and jazz bands all here in Claremont, Laverne, Upland, Glendora. And these students are participating in all of those things, which helps make the cello experience even better. So I thought I'd share with you just a personal anecdote. Rigadoon, this is by Henry Purcell. Okay? It is by Purcell. Yeah, same Rigadoon. Hope you enjoy it. Ready? raise of hands, who is familiar, and I think you all are familiar, but who is familiar with the great composer Johann Sebastian Bach? Right? So one of the hallmark composers for the cello is Mr. Bach. And one of the most famous pieces that was really made famous by Yo-Yo Ma, the cellist, is by Johann Sebastian Bach, and it's the Prelude and Suites for cello, solo cello. As part of those suites, there's movements or little mini pieces in each larger piece called minuets. Anyone familiar? Minuet is an old style of dance, so we're all going to get up and dance. But a minuet is normally in 3, and what I want you to listen for is a heavy downbeat and 2 quick beats after that. So you can imagine in, many, many years ago, a dance to a minuet. This one is affectionately called Minuet Number 2, written by Johann Sebastian Bach. And I should note, we talked about this in class 2, Bach was really famous for playing the organ in his church service. He was a principal organist. However, he almost never, and I'm pretty certain never did, write down his own music. He would sit and play and improvise before the service, and his wife would sit in the pews of the church and write quickly down what he was playing. And what's so interesting is all the music that survived, nobody knows what Johann Sebastian Bach writing looks like, because it's all in his wife's penmanship. So I've always found that remarkable, because I can only imagine if I had the ability to sit down and listen to these beautiful pieces being played and be able to handwrite that quickly. So this is one of those pieces, Minuet Number 2. Hope you enjoy. Right? Okay, our next piece, we're going to change things up a little bit, and we're going to feature some of these students individually. Over here is Aston Fu. Can you wave to everybody? Yeah. Aston Fu's in the 7th grade. 7th grade at Foothill Country Day School, just down the street in Claremont. Not only does he play the cello, but he is a marvelous pianist himself too. Tonight, Aston's going to be playing a piece by the composer named Niccolo Paganini. Does anybody know who that is? Yeah, really famous for writing pretty fancy violin pieces. So this is a violin piece originally that's been transcribed, that means rewritten, for the cello, and it's going to feature some of that early virtuosity on the cello with accompaniment by Dr. Jenny Jung. We're going to start off playing the whole piece with Aston, and then the second time through, we're going to bring in the rest of the group. You guys ready? Okay, here is Witch's Dance. To introduce to you Mr. Leonardo Gonzalez. He's here, waving. Give him a round of applause. We're going to slow things down a little bit and show off what a really beautiful tone the cello can make. And one of the most beautiful pieces that can be played on the cello is, it's simply called Bourrée. And this is going to feature Leo on the cello. Leo's been playing cello for just about a year. Leo also plays piano for many years. Leo also has performed on some pretty major pipe organs in our community for some big concerts. Recently at the big Celtic Christmas concert that we did with the youth orchestras, and also at the Claremont United Church of Christ in Claremont as well. So Leo also plays, see if I can get these all right, the clarinet, the saxophone? Not yet. Clarinet, what am I missing?
Clarinet, very light.
A little bit of flute, and then some guitar. And also the guitar. So much more talented than I play the cello a little bit. So let's give another round of applause for Leo on Bourrée. Go ahead. introducing or reintroducing, I'm sure many of you know, this is Mr. Caleb Van Brunt here. We have a round of applause. Caleb also has his piano teacher in the audience, I think, if we could recognize, Ms. Marta McCown. So Caleb is going to be performing we're jumping up a number of decades here to Impressionist music. This is a piece by Antonin Dvorak, and it's called Humoresque, and it's been made many famous over the years. Many different versions: violin, piano. If you turn on, easy listening, sometimes you feel it there. I've heard Kenny G play it too, but it sounds to me the most beautiful on the cello. So I'm sure you recognize the piece. I'll let you take it away. This is Caleb, again, with accompaniment provided by Ms. Jenny Jung. Can we give him one more round of applause? Cello has that incredible ability to make you feel relaxed and peaceful and easy to take a nap too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kick up the tempo a notch, and I need you to help us get a little energy because this next piece has a lot of energy. It's entitled Scherzo, and we like to play these scherzos really fast. So fast that Dr. Jung is going to come over and tell us she quits. So this is going to feature Jaden and Caleb, and I'm going to play along as well. and it's a lot of fun. So it's got this, what I want you to watch is how quickly they move their bow across the string, and see if you can see how many times they're moving it up and down in rapid succession. It's really fun to watch. It's got a great melody in the middle where we slow it down a bit, and then it ends 100 miles an hour at the end. So this is Webster's Scherzo. Ready? We need some energy. Could you give us a big round of applause? It's such a privilege to work with these great students, and I tell you that if you're unfamiliar with the Claremont Community School of Music, it's right over Foothill Boulevard. There's a giant restaurant that's in the shape of a boat. Familiar with that? We're right across the street, and most famously, right behind the Claremont Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors. So sometimes I'm fairly convinced that's why people take music lessons, because we get ice cream afterwards. So, but no, we're really blessed to have now. We have 63 teachers at the school now. Wow. And we have just shy of 1,200 students at the school. So a mixture of not only strings, but piano, voice, violin, you name the instrument, anything of the orchestra, it's there. So we have these wonderful ensembles, like cello. We have wonderful ensembles that Ms. McCow does too for piano, Baroque recorder, handbell choir, you name it. So sometime if you're in the area, please stop by. We'd love to say hello. But again, it's a privilege to work with these students, and we're excited to be here tonight. Don't they sound great?
Yes.
So this next piece is going to feature Caleb Van Brunt again. In light of this week's really terrible events that we've been going through, I thought it only fitting to dedicate this next piece to the difficulty that we're facing in Los Angeles. I'm getting emotional. It's difficult. This piece is one of the most beautiful cello pieces that I can think of. It's specifically written for the cello by a French composer named Gabriel Fauré, and it's entitled Elegy. Familiar, yes. It's a really beautiful piece, and I'll just say we'll dedicate this one to our neighbors in Los Angeles. time, we're at our last piece. Can you believe it? We're almost out of time. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more. If you enjoyed the concert today, there's a few opportunities to hear these same students again in the very near future. First of all, Caleb Van Brunt is going to be performing this same piece with a full orchestra, a 90-piece orchestra at the Mabel Shaw Little Bridges Auditorium of Music at the Claremont Colleges on February 1st at 3:30 p.m. So if you can write that down or tuck away in your memory, that's going to be happening. Also at that same concert, Mr. Leonardo Gonzalez will be playing a piano concerto with the same orchestra, same concert. Is that correct?
Yes.
So Leo is going to be there, and you can't miss it. You have to come hear him play piano. Jaden Mosley is also going to be playing in a youth orchestra. It's with the Claremont Young Musicians Orchestra, Intermezzo Orchestra specifically, on January 26th, also at the Mabel Shaw Little Bridges Auditorium. Ashton, on cello here at the end, he is going to be giving his pretty major solo piano recital here in Laverne. And it's extra special because it's going to be featured at the Morgan Auditorium at the University of Laverne. That is on February, help me, Ashton. February 2nd. So you have concerts on January 26th, you have concerts on February 1st and the 2nd to hear all these wonderful musicians again. And if you want to come listen to little old me, we have another youth orchestra on January 25th as well playing. I wanted to give a big thank you to our accompanist today, Dr. Jenny John. I have to say I sent a message to Dr. Jung last night because we were suddenly in need of a pianist. I'll spare you those details. But I sent a message to Jenny and was like, hey, any chance you can come play with us last minute? And so Jenny is sight reading all this music today. No problem. All right. So once again, this is Caleb Van Brunt, Jaden Mosley, Leonardo Gonzalez, Aston Fu. Can you guys stand up? We're going to close with another piece that moves. This is Jean-Baptiste Lully's Gavotte. Ready?